So you actually spent a day with the Aborigines.
While we were in Darwin, we got to go visit an Aboriginal village, and we got to go on a bushwalk and go through the natural wildlife area there and visit like all the different trees and go on a trail. And our guide, he taught us all kinds of stuff about the different trees that they're there, and like which trees are poisonous and which plants and stuff aren't, and like how they're used for different things there and how. And also when we were there, we got to eat some of the food that they had was like an Aboriginal meal, which involved like kangaroo tail and camel and stuff. And I didn't eat any of the kangaroo tail, but from what I heard, it was really disgusting and no one liked it. So yeah.
Did you eat ants?
Yeah. We also got to eat ants. They were like green-tailed ants, so they were kind of like green on their back head, and they tasted like apple Jolly Rancher. So. Yeah.
Did you paint it? What about? Did you do some painting there?
Yeah, while we were there, we also got to do Aboriginal painting on these little like wooden boards, and use rock paints that we got to make ourselves. So that was cool.
And actually, I remember you also saying in a phone call that the girls did one activity and the boys did another.
Yeah, the guys, we all got to go spear throwing, while the girls got to weave baskets and do things of that sort.
Oh,
So.
that sounds like a great day. So from there was another waterfall, huh? Experience that you
Yeah,
had?
we got to go visit another waterfall and go swimming there. And at that waterfall, I actually slipped and fell down some rocks, because we got to go swimming in a huge lake, and then there was a big rock face which you kind of climbed up, and once you got up, there was a hole in the rocks that you kind of dive in. It looked like a small hot tub, and it was about 6 to 7 feet deep, and it was like warm water. And so then when I was climbing up the face, I slipped all the way down about 13 feet, 12, 13 feet, and I landed and collided in between two rocks, and then I got kind of bruised on both my arms and my butt. And was lost.
Ouch. Well, we're glad you're back and survived that one. So from Northern Territory, you flew to Queensland Territory. So where is that on the
We
map?
went back to Darwin, and then from Darwin we flew all the way to Cairns, which is another city kind of up north in Queensland Territory. And for the first 2 nights, I got to stay with my homestay, which was a family of 3. It was a mother and her 2 sons. One was 25 and one was 8. The mother, she owns her own store called, it was called Overflow. It was kind of like a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven type store. And then her son Sean worked with her too during the day, while Jake, the 8-year-old, got to go to school. So that was a lot of fun to experience that.
Did you get sick?
Yeah. And then on the second night, or the first night, I kept waking up feeling really nauseous, and then that day I got sick and didn't really feel that great until I saw Transformers in the afternoon, and I felt better after that.
And that was a bug that about 8 people got on that trip, huh?
8 to 12 people on our trip got sick from the same thing. So
that happens. Well, I'm glad you felt better, and from there you went out to the Great Barrier Reef, huh?
Yeah, we got to go snorkeling on the Great Barrier Reef and see all the coral and fish. And there was a huge fish about 4 feet long, 2 in the water, which we got to swim by, and some people got to touch it and stuff. And that was a lot of fun too. And that was the second to last day of the trip. I'd say our best experience though at the with all the snorkeling and stuff was at Fitzroy Beach, which is where we got to see the coral from up close and stuff too. So.
Did you had to, that was an island that you...
Yeah, it was an island which we had to take a 45-minute boat ride out to get there. And then we also got to climb to the top of Fitzroy, which is a giant mountain. I think the elevation was about 1,500 feet or something around there. And we got to climb all the way to the top of that. So.
Yeah, you have some photos that have such an incredible view from up there. It looked amazing. Well, Chess, why don't you just read to us your Great Barrier Reef journal?
All right. This is what I wrote in my journal about the Great Barrier Reef. Swimming the Great Barrier Reef was one of the most amazing experiences I have ever had. It was so beautiful to swim through the colorful coral and see the huge variety of fish that inhabit the reef. The water was so blue and clear, everything seemed crisp, clear, and easily distinguishable. The water was also the perfect swimming temperature, somewhat cold, but once you were in, it was almost as if you never wanted to get out and feel the air's cool breeze. It's sad to think that my generation may be the last to experience the reef's excellence. It is because of our own human ignorance towards nature that the reef slowly dies. Even just trying to imagine something so large die seems nearly impossible, seeing as it's the only living thing visible in space. Besides our day, which was dedicated to snorkeling the Great Barrier Reef, I think that the best view of the reef came from the day spent at Fitzroy Beach. There the coil was closer to the surface and displayed a much more amazing view of the disappearing reef and its marine life.
Very well written. Well, that was pretty much the end of the trip then.
And that was our last day, was at Fitzroy Beach. And then from there we flew back to Sydney, and then we went on another 15-hour flight, I think, to San Francisco Airport instead of LA. And yeah.
And overall, Chess, what did you think?
Overall, I thought it was a great experience, and I'm really glad I got to go to Australia. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun activities that I got to partake in, and I'm really glad I got to do it, and I'd love to do it again sometime. So I'd like to thank everyone who helped me with the trip and helped support me on going and becoming a student ambassador. I'm very grateful for it. And if you haven't gone to Australia yet, you should put it on your to-do list. So, thank you.